Now, as it relates to what you said about about democracy, though, I agree with you in terms of the will of the people, and I think now we have a problem that people aren't talking about because, like you said, with the Democratic primaries, we voted for Joe Biden. That's exactly what who people selected, and Joe Biden consistently said multiple times that he was staying in the election. The only reason that he stopped was because of the pressure that was brought upon him by his peers and donors.
I was
Nothing
gonna
about
say don. I was gonna say donors. Yeah, because
yeah.
that's a good point. I was gonna go right there. I'll let you finish though.
I was just going to say nothing about the will of the people. Nothing about the will of the people because the will of the people we elected him, and the donors are they stopped contributing to the campaign. They stopped funding as soon as that debate incident
Yeah,
happened.
and you can't. But here's the thing, though: you can't force a donor to donate, right? I mean, you got big money donors, rich folks, but you also got a bunch of regular people that are donors. And even if Alan Lickman, is like, hey, I'm the wizard in the tower. I know what's best for you guys, and what's best for you guys is to stick with Biden. Even if he understands that, and let's assume he's correct, it doesn't really matter if you know your donors lose confidence and all of a sudden
Right,
all your money dries up for the campaign. And that brings me
right,
back to a point that he said earlier. He said, well, the election is about how you govern. It's not about how you campaign. So what does that mean, that you just don't campaign at all and we're
right.
wasting all our money on ads and everything? Well, probably not. But then that goes back to, well, does your model really capture everything? So yeah, I think that too. I always thought that Biden would not. Now maybe it was COVID, because COVID happened at the same time. And,
That
maybe
did.
if he felt like he couldn't physically campaign with COVID being that old, I can understand that being the reason. But it also could have been donor pressure and people saying, "Look, we lost confidence in you," even if they shouldn't have lost confidence in him. But
Right,
saying, "Hey, we lost confidence in you, so it's over." And confidence is brutal, man. Like, as a finance person, like your money isn't at the bank. I'm not trying to cause a bank run right now. I'm just letting y'all know your money ain't at the bank. They keep about 10% of it. The rest of it's gone, right?
yep,
And the system only works as long as you got confidence in it. As soon as you lose confidence, you try to get your money out, and everybody tries to get their money out. Even good banks can go under. There's
absolutely.
nothing you can do. But now we got FDI.
FDIC
Yeah, we got
insurance.
FDIC insurance up to 250. But yeah, your money isn't there, right? So same thing with Biden. People lose confidence, the money dries up, and at that point he might have been like, well, if we're not going to have any money, it's kind of selfish for me to even stay in at this point, even though he maybe still thinks that he's the best one to win. So yeah, that's tough.
But that to me, that is a problem. Like, and I know the Supreme Court had a big case as it relates to funding and elections. But that's a huge problem because the will of the people was circumvented, and that, like to me, I
The
don't think
will of
that
the money,
right.
the will of the
It
donors.
straight to the will of the money because I don't think Biden had any problem with grassroots donations. It wasn't the grassroots donations where like it wasn't the people that was like we're gonna stop donating all it. This
I
was
mean, it might have been. I mean, we don't know that for sure, right?
I mean, based on my understanding, I know, um, based on reportings, it was donors like mega donors. It was PACs. It was like they came in like Democratic, like top Democratic election officials or people for the party. They came together with mega donors,
And they're like,
and they
we can't get investors to put their money in because they don't think it's going to do
exactly
anything. They don't think they're going to
exactly
get a return.
exactly. And I think that was the nail on the head. I think Biden was like, I have my peers coming to me, and now my donation pool is dried up. All of the big mega donors they stopped funding, so now it's hard for me to even reasonably have a campaign. I can't campaign without any funding, and if
Right.
y'all gonna dry me up, I think that's where we have an issue because now it's just like that means that really these it's the media and like the mega donors, people who are like, for example, Elon Musk. It's been reported that he's going to contribute $45 million a month to Trump's super PAC
I
until the
heard
election.
that.
Like stuff like that is that circumvents the will of the people, and it's just like and
I mean, there's
can't
always been money in politics. And I think it was the Citizens United Supreme Court case that
exactly. Yep.
basically defined corporations as people and,
Yep.
made any, even though there's like real strict restrictions on how much an individual can give
Yep.
to a campaign, but there's like unlimited money that a corporation could do,
Right.
through PACs and things like that. So So yeah, now I want to pull it back from like the deep, because some people say, "Oh, well, the money dried up. Well, that's the deep state." Well, I don't think it's not like the deep state. It's just, if you're a real person like Bill Maher, he gave $1 million, I think, to Obama's campaign. Um, but if you're like a regular rich person or something like that, not some, I own the world, conspiracy, just a regular rich person that donates money. If you think that you have a chance to win, you're like, okay, well, let's donate if it's close, right? But if you think it's a guaranteed loss, why would you put your money behind something that's a guaranteed, in your mind, loss, right? And I think that's why the sentiment impact after that debate could have scared just regular rich folks into thinking, if Biden doesn't have a chance, I'm not going to give you the money. But if you give somebody else I can have more confidence in, I'll go ahead and bring the money out. And it's not a deep state thing. That's just a normal, and regular people feel that way too. Regular people didn't feel great about Biden. I think you and I are probably the one of, and Alan Lichtman, we're probably
Right.
one of the few people that thought Biden was in good shape, even after the debate performance.
Yep.
At least in terms of winning the election, the debate was bad, period. But I
Yep.
still think Biden would have won if I was a betting person. But now, yeah, there's so much negative sentiment, and the fact that impacted investors, I mean, it impacted everybody. So that's not surprising.
I don't. Like I don't want to relegate that to the deep state. I don't think it's a deep state, but I do think it's a symptom of, just like you said, that case, the Citizens United case, and I think it's a symptom of American politics to where it's not necessarily a deep state, but it's a structural fracture.
Well, we could fix it as a United if we had the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, so now again, and this is a big
We're
issue,
far from
right?
that now.
Like, because now, if just like if me and you are right, and hopefully we're not. If me and you are right, Trump is going to win. We got two potential Supreme Court seats that could be up. He could nominate two
He
more
already put
justices.
a third of the court in himself. He
It
already
literally,
put there. And then we can
it's
talk
just
about that
like,
later in a different video, because when we get to Project 2025, and I don't want to go into it deeply right now, but because we're still only like halfway through this one, but things are when I put my maniacal evil villain hat on, and I think, how do you take advantage of the system for power? I'm looking at Project 2025. I'm looking at the
yep,
Supreme Court. I'm looking at presidential immunity.
yep,
Replacing all of these government people. They're because they said that they have a policy plan, but more importantly, they got people, right. They got people ready to go. And I think what he's trying to do is, I don't remember the exact name of the law, but basically trying to classify like almost everybody in the government as political appointees. And if he can classify them as political appointees, then he can fire them easy and replace them with sycophants. And then once you got a bunch of people that's just straight up loyal to you there, you're immune to any criminal prosecution. You put up a third of the whole Supreme Court. You get two more. Then he personally would have put in the majority of the Supreme Court. It's game over at that point.
yep,
Like,
yep,
if you
yep,
really, I'm not saying that Trump is that bad, but I'm not saying he isn't. Like, if you really got your
right,
evil villain hat on, then you're immune. You got a government, especially if he wins majorities in Congress. It's a full loyal camp on everywhere you look, and that's not good. That's
yeah.
really not good.
It's not
And it's a
where,
thing. People may say, "Oh, well, you're panicking about Trump," but as it relates to immunity, a Democrat can be immune too, right? If you're a conservative, do you want every Democrat to have that level of immunity and all that? So I think we're in a more dangerous spot now, just because the Supreme Court is what it is. But you're totally right. He already put three on there,
right,
two more
right,
personal,
right,
just him,
right.
just one
Yep.
man, over half the Supreme Court. Yeah, that's
Y-
crazy.
It's
That
yep.
is crazy.
It's and that is set to shape an ideology for generations, like, or a generation for sure.
And it's already set. Like, the Supreme, we're already
Yeah,
in
you're right.
bad
Yeah,
shape with the Supreme
Kavanaugh, and
Court, and then two
absolutely.
more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.